Tonight, more angry Rogers customers are going public over what they say are misleading contracts.
I really felt cheated. I felt lied to and cheated.
Their bills suddenly jumped even after locking into a deal. Now, new fallout to our investigation.
This is another ploy to get ripped off by Rogers.
And breaking news, New Brunswick votes for change and makes history tonight.
Thank you, New Brunswick!
Plus, the king confronted in Australia. The Indigenous politician who heckled the monarch.
From CBC News, this is The National with Christine Clark.
Thanks for joining us. Adrian is on assignment. We begin with fresh fallout tonight to our Go Public investigation. More frustrated Rogers customers say they feel they were misled by the telecom giant. We told you Sunday about a woman whose bill suddenly jumped, even though she had signed a 2-year contract. Well, her story touched a nerve, sparking more customers to reach out. Erica Johnson first broke this story, and tonight she shows us how that frustration is now playing out in the House of Commons.
Canadians aren't buying it.
On Parliament Hill, criticism the Liberal government isn't protecting customers who feel misled by their telco provider.
This is another ploy to get ripped off by Rogers, who just gouged out record profits.
He's talking about a price hike people like Kathy Cooper aren't too happy about. She's a Rogers customer who expected a guaranteed price when she signed a 2-year contract a few months ago, but then learned the telco giant was raising the price of every TV box but one by $7 a month.
It's not right. It's not right. I've agreed to one price.
We first told her story on Sunday in a Go Public investigation. Since then, we've been hearing from other Rogers customers with similar angry tales.
I really felt cheated. I felt lied to and cheated.
They, too, thought they had a guaranteed price, but were wrong. Buried in the fine print, a clause that says Rogers can increase the price of rental equipment, like TV boxes.
They're certainly leading you to believe that all of those charges are fixed for the 2-year period.
Many customers accuse Rogers of taking advantage of them, calling the price hike ludicrous and a price gouge. Some say they had far better prices as Shaw customers before Ottawa allowed a Rogers takeover last year.
The Liberals keep handing out millions of taxpayer dollars to Rogers, who is gouging those same taxpayers. Why won't they stand up to Rogers?
We're always on the side of consumers, Mr. Speaker. We want more competition in this country, more choice for consumer, and lower price for Canadians.
Some frustrated Rogers customers say they had to plead their case with a mediator for telcos and their customers and got refunds from Rogers after saying they felt misled. According to the mediator's latest data, complaints about Rogers, many about unclear contracts, have recently skyrocketed to more than 2,800, an increase of 118%. We reached out to Rogers. A spokesperson said most of its TV customers aren't affected by this price hike.
And Erica, I understand you've heard from other unhappy customers and not just with Rogers.
We've also heard from customers of Bell and TELUS. They say their contracts have similar language. It locks them into a 2-year deal, but gives the companies the option to raise prices if they so wish. They say they weren't explained this when they signed up, that they feel ripped off, and they would like the government to do something about that.
Thanks for this, Erica. Erica Johnson in Vancouver tonight. Now to breaking news in New Brunswick, where voters have chosen change tonight. CBC News is projecting the Liberals have won a majority government in the province. Cheers in Liberal headquarters moments after the announcement was made. That makes leader Susan Holt not only the next Premier of New Brunswick, but the first woman Premier in the province. Kayla Hounsell is at Liberal Party headquarters in Fredericton tonight. Kayla, this is a pretty exciting night for folks there.
Oh, Christine, there is a tremendous amount of excitement here tonight. People were literally jumping up and down, some moved to tears, when the CBC News decision desk projected that Liberal majority government. This is also historic. As you say, Susan Holt will be the first female premier in this province. She is fluently bilingual, which is always an important question here in Canada's only officially bilingual province. She became leader of the New Brunswick Liberals in 2022 and was first elected to the legislature in a by-election last year. Her win tonight means New Brunswickers have voted for change, which political observers point out is a trend we're starting to see across Canada now. Holt said tonight that she thanked the women who came before her.
There's so many young girls that thank you, Aldea, and Shirley and Elizabeth and Barbara.
Holt's win tonight also means that New Brunswickers chose promises to fix healthcare and cost of living issues over a cut to the provincial sales tax that the Progressive Conservatives were promising. But some say this election was really a referendum on Blaine Higgs. He had been the premier for 6 years. He had been seeking a third mandate, which no premier in this province has been able to pull off in nearly 30 years. He was also increasingly unpopular, and he faced a revolt from within his own party over his leadership style, as well as his stance on the province's controversial policy on gender identity in schools. Tonight, Higgs said that this election result, will trigger a leadership transition, but he didn't officially resign.
It's certainly not the night we'd hoped for. Nevertheless, it is what it is. So the people of New Brunswick have spoken, and I have called and congratulated Susan Holt and her team on their victory.
And some Progressive Conservatives have told me this loss tonight means they will now have to set about rebuilding their party from the inside out. Christine.
Kayla, Susan Holt spent time during this campaign trying to distance herself from the federal Liberals. What does her win mean on that front?
Certainly it became very clear that Susan Holt was trying to distance herself from Justin Trudeau, who has become unpopular among Canadians, all while the provincial Progressive Conservatives tried to say that she is a carbon copy of Trudeau. So her win tonight could simply mean it didn't work, or as one political scientist told me, it could mean New Brunswickers dislike Blaine Higgs more than they dislike Justin Trudeau.
All right, thanks, Kayla. Kayla Hounsell in Fredericton. Well, voters in British Columbia will have to wait another week before they find out who won the election in that province over the weekend. The results are too close to call.
We estimate we have around 49,000 ballots left to count province-wide.
Those tens of thousands of absentee and mail-in ballots will be included in a final count that will start Saturday. There will be recounts in 2 ridings. Right now, the NDP are elected or leading in 46 ridings, the Conservatives 45. 2 people are confirmed dead in BC's Lower Mainland following 3 days of heavy rain that shattered records and triggered flash floods. Susanna De Silva shows us the human cost.
In amongst the mud, rocks, and splintered tree trunks, evidence of a home and a life that was washed away.
It's devastating. I mean, it's like somebody died here, eh?
The body of 57-year-old Coquitlam Elementary School teacher Sonia McIntyre has been found buried in the debris. Former partner Jim Millington had been fearing the worst.
Somebody you know has passed away, like in such a tragic way. I mean, it shocks. It's just kind of shocker. It hits you pretty hard, eh?
Between Friday and Saturday, the area saw 254 millimeters of rain, what's being called a 1 in 200-year event. 15 homes remain cut off. In an update to City Council, searchers said the conditions were extremely challenging.
The home was not intact at all and had moved quite a distance from its original footings. Unfortunately, ended in us finding the resident some 250 to 300 meters away from the original site where the home was.
The school district says it is supporting her school as they struggle with the sad news of the passing of a valued teacher. Supports will be in place as long as necessary for students and staff. On Vancouver Island, the search continues after this weekend's storm. So far, one person has been confirmed dead. Another is presumed drowned on a remote road near Port Alberni after their cars were swept into the river. In North Vancouver, the cleanup continues, though 6 homes remain evacuated.
With it being, again, in excess of a 1 in 100-year event, we need to see if that is shifting our new normal and looking at then what does that mean in terms of preparation for future events.
For now, a lot of work remains to recover from this weekend's event. Susanna Da Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
We are now just 2 weeks away from the U.S. presidential election, and both candidates are zeroing in on a handful of key battleground states. As Katie Simpson shows us now, while Trump went on the attack, Harris campaigned with a longtime Republican.
In battleground North Carolina, Donald Trump entertained supporters for more than an hour, insulting his Democratic challenger.
She's a mess. She's a cognitive mess.
Relying on his familiar dehumanizing language about migrants.
They make our criminals look like really nice people. These people are so much more vicious. They cut you up and they don't even think about it the next day.
As he toured the swing state, visiting hurricane-ravaged communities, he repeated the false claim the Biden administration diverted relief funds away from storm survivors.
They've spent it on illegal migrants. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are drug dealers.
The Trump campaign continues to harden its tone, defending threats of military force against U.S. citizens and labeling political opponents as the enemy within.
And I think it's totally reasonable for the president to point out that, yes, we've got the strongest country in the world, but we do have some broken leaders in Washington.
Democrats hope some moderates and even conservatives are tiring of the rhetoric. And so Kamala Harris teamed up with Republican Liz Cheney to try to appeal to voters hesitant about Trump.
I would just remind people, if you're at all concerned, you can vote your conscience and not ever have to say a word to anybody. And there will be millions of Republicans who do that on November 5th.
Let's do it. The unlikely pair visited 3 swing states, underscoring what they see as the stakes in this vote.
In many, many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of him being president of the United States are brutally serious.
Donald Trump admitted he's not seen anything to suggest the outcome of this election will be unfair, though he again repeated the lie the 2020 election was stolen from him and accused Democrats of being cheaters. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
As we mentioned earlier, Adrienne is on assignment tonight. She is in one of those crucial swing states where she will be reporting and hosting tomorrow night. Here's a preview.
This is Georgia. For decades, it was as red gets. Until 2020, when Joe Biden won this state, it became a swing state and it became the epicenter for Donald Trump's bogus claims of widespread election fraud. That cloud hangs over everything here. Election boards have been remade, election rules rewritten, and the suspicious say maybe the point of all that has been to try to tip the scales in favor of Donald Trump. Trust here is shattered, and it's all playing out in the courthouses of the state. Courtrooms have become as important to the political parties here as campaign rallies. We will take you inside the fight for Georgia in the days to come on The National.
The complicated relationship between the Crown and Indigenous people is back in the spotlight tonight. It comes after a tense moment in Australia's Parliament between a politician and King Charles. Aaron Collins now on what was said and the reaction here in Canada.
Predictable pomp in Australia's Parliament for a visit from a king. Until this. This Aboriginal senator calling out the king for Britain's treatment of her people.
What you stole from us, our bones, our skulls, our babies, our people.
The outspoken critic of the monarchy making demands.
Give us a treaty. We want a treaty in this country. You will
before being escorted out, while King Charles looked on. Her message to the king resonating here in Canada, too.
I think that the senator was expressing a lot of similar sentiments that I hear here in Canada and I know exist elsewhere in colonies and former colonies of the Commonwealth.
During a visit to Canada in 2022, when he was still Prince Charles, Indigenous leaders here demanded a royal apology for the monarchy's treatment of First Nations.
For a lot of Indigenous people, the crown is nothing more really than a symbol of colonial oppression.
The king touring Australia in the lead up to a Commonwealth summit in Samoa, amidst calls for apologies over the UK's role in the slave trade, too.
Because of the history of imperialism, there are many countries, again, who want reparations, apologies, and so forth and so on, pointing to the fact that the history that the organization is based on is not certainly one to be celebrated.
Demands unlikely to be met at this weekend's Commonwealth meeting, with King Charles expected to be in attendance. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
There is concern from several countries tonight over reports North Korea is sending troops to help Russia in its war in Ukraine. Jamie Strachan shows us who's saying that and why the implications could be dire.
Russia's war on Ukraine, deep into its third year, has been brutal and bloody. More casualties, says Ukraine, in the village of Zaporizhia after the latest Russian missile strike. Now, in what would be a new twist, reports that North Korean troops have entered the conflict. A Ukrainian government agency released this video saying it shows North Korean troops lining up to collect Russian military fatigues, evidence the Ukraine says Russia is using North Koreans on the battlefield. CBC has not verified the video, neither has the Pentagon.
If Russia is indeed being forced to turn to the DPRK for manpower, this would be certainly a sign of desperation on the part of the Kremlin.
South Korea's spy agency says 1,200 North Korean soldiers are already on the ground in Russia. Seoul summoned Russia's ambassador to say the move threatens its own national security, saying its military will take all necessary steps to protect its people. A Russian spokesperson did not deny the reports, saying it has a sovereign right to develop relations with North Korea. Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un did sign a security pact in June, pledging to help each other against acts of aggression directed at either country.
This would be a new escalation of actually putting troops on the ground, and it would show a failure of Western policy.
The war has killed more than 70,000 Russian soldiers, and the Kremlin has recently turned to countries like Nepal and India for reinforcements.
The quality of the North Korean military is untested, and obviously in any sort of battlefield environment.
Still, if North Korea is actually involved, it could draw more countries in on both sides. NATO vowed to actively cooperate with South Korea to counter any move by North Korea to enter the war. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
2 BC men have pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of Ripudaman Singh Malik in 2022. Malik was acquitted in the 2005 mass murder and conspiracy charges related to the deadly Air India bombings. The 2 men, who now admit to killing him, will receive automatic life sentences. Malik's family says the men were hired to commit the murder and are urging them to reveal by whom. A debate is heating up in Ontario over a move by the province to crack down on bike lanes.
I think it's nice to have bike lanes. It's annoying for parking being someone that has to drive all day.
The new legislation and the politics that could be driving it next. Plus, can a new Canadian app help students with mental health issues?
So we ask them some questions about their symptoms. We can build a simple profiling of the user, what their challenges are, how we can help them.
Why some experts are skeptical. And later, a trip to Costco turns into a big party.
Babe, do you really think this is a coincidence?
That's so clever.
The birthday surprise a BC man will never forget. We're back in 2. Former BC Premier Christy Clark is expressing interest in Justin Trudeau's job should it become available. She told Radio-Canada she is open to returning to public life and wants to be, quote, part of the discussion about the Liberal Party's future. Her comments come ahead of a Liberal caucus meeting Wednesday where it's expected Trudeau will face calls to resign from his own MPs. Ontario's government is taking aim at whether cities install bike lanes. As Lisa Shing tells us, the province says it's all about easing traffic, but others see it differently.
Bike lanes line this busy road in Toronto's West End, and they're dividing the community.
I think it's nice to have bike lanes. It's nice to, that people have access to them, but it's annoying for parking being someone that has to drive all day.
What are you seeing on a daily basis?
Congestion.
I recognize the Minister of
The
Transportation.
debate has made it all the way to the Ontario legislature, the government tabling a new bill that, once passed, would force municipalities across the province to get permission before installing any new bike lanes and prove they won't make traffic worse. The PCs also say it gives them the power to remove existing ones.
We want to bring a reasonable approach to this. We've seen traffic at an all-time high. It's congested.
The opposition doesn't see it that way.
To Doug Ford, this might be cheap politics, but to people across the province, this is the kind of politics that plays with people's lives.
Bike lane debates are playing out in other Canadian cities too, like Ottawa and Montreal, with frustrated drivers stuck in traffic and cyclists wanting a safe way to get around.
We're competing for limited, scarce space, and it's not just the space, it's also our time.
This infrastructure planning professor says bike lanes can slightly increase travel times for vehicles, but points out other factors like construction can also slow down traffic. And he says more data is needed.
As we get further into the suburbs, the impacts start to become more mixed, and we do need to study those and make sure that they're being well designed.
Political analysts say there might be another reason for bringing up bike lanes now that Doug Ford's government could be gearing up for an election, trying to get votes where they count most. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.
A new app is aimed at helping students struggling to connect with mental health services.
It sort of reinforces the isolation of a mental health struggle because you're not talking to another person.
Why some warn it shouldn't replace real human contact. Plus, a BC housing project of historic proportions.
As an Indigenous person, I feel strength and honor in being a part of something so big.
The massive Indigenous-led development and the pushback it's facing. Plus, the Palestinian olive farmers afraid to harvest their crops.
I told you if you come in next time, I'll kill you.
The violence threatening their livelihoods. The National breaks down the story shaping our world next. A new Canadian-made app is using artificial intelligence to get students mental health support. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson shows us how it works and why experts say it can't replace the real thing.
A very simple question to ask.
Rastan Rasoli, a double major in computer science and psychology, says his own experiences seeking mental health services inspired him to create an app.
I'm having a panic attack.
He says Doro uses AI technology like ChatGPT to offer users early mental health intervention.
So we ask them some questions about their symptoms. We can build a simple profiling of the user, what their challenges are, how we can help them. Also, this is the point that if we realize the symptoms are too serious, we refer them to a therapist.
Apps like Doro seek to fill a gap, especially for young adults and teens who tend to report higher rates of mental health problems. A 2022 study of Canadian post-secondary students revealed that 1 in 3 students said campus mental health resources did not meet their needs. But researchers like Rachel Cates worry about the entry of AI into psychology and psychiatry.
It sort of reinforces the isolation of a mental health struggle because you're not talking to another person, you're not actually reaching out, you're just looking at your phone for yet another thing.
We are all struggling with our kids connecting to healthy things.
This child and family psychiatrist thinks AI could help in an overburdened system, but
we need safeguards where before any technology is just freely introduced, there should be at least some sort of vetting process to make sure it is actually helpful.
And so it's a very wide spectrum.
Rastan Rasoli agrees. Apps like his could never replace a therapist.
This is a very sensitive market, and you have to be very cautious how you're going to approach it.
So your daily mental health coach.
Now the generation that's comfortable talking about mental health will decide how it fits with another of their comfort zones, technology. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Waterloo, Ontario.
Now it's time to dig deeper into the stories shaping our world. Palestinian olive farmers in the West Bank are under attack.
He told you if you come in next time, I'll kill you.
Threats from Israeli settlers during the critical harvest season. But first,
we're finding ways and solutions to sustain our people for the next 7 generations.
reconciliation built with steel, glass, and an ocean view. A Vancouver real estate development with Indigenous ownership. The Squamish Nation has begun construction on hundreds of high-rise housing units. Susanna De Silva shows us a site where the past meets the future.
A massive First Nations housing project near downtown Vancouver on what was once their traditional home.
You're rebuilding our village. The shovel's been in the ground.
It took a decades-long court battle to get here.
This is the largest residential housing project in Canada, and it's Indigenous.
But projects like this are poised to dramatically reshape the city, with more towers, bigger density than ever, and big opposition.
And as far as reconciliation goes, I mean, it does have to be a two-way street.
We've been invited to a ceremony at this construction site. Blankets are being given to residential school survivors. It's a chance for workers to put down their tools and recognize they're doing much more than building towers for the Squamish Nation.
This is just the start. Like phase one, we have a 40-story tower, 28-story tower, and a 32-story tower.
It's something worker Edward Belsham knows well.
And the best part about this is that there's going to be 575 units designated for low-income housing.
Listening to him proudly describe the project to us, you would think he was on the sales team, but he's actually just brimming with pride.
As an Indigenous person, I feel strength and honor in being a part of something so big. Like, this is the largest residential housing project in Canada, and it's Indigenous, right? Like, it's a big deal.
He is among the 50% of workers here who are Indigenous. Not originally from BC, but living in Vancouver. His mother was a residential school survivor.
What is it about being able to return to this land?
Just provides acknowledgement that we're starting to right the wrongs.
The project is called Sanok, being built on the tiny reserve the nation won back, a fraction of the village they once had here. A village that inspired Emily Carr, with the last families forced out in 1913, put on a barge to North Vancouver, their community burned.
There was always the angst I felt in our household, and I didn't understand it then, but I do now. And I'm very grateful that the fight continued for so many years. This is reconciliation in action.
Wilson Williams has been part of the leadership helping guide the Squamish Nation as it finally got to decide what to do with the land. 11 towers, over 6,000 rental units. Once complete, this may be the densest neighborhood in Canada. But because it's reserve land, progress was quick. They didn't need the city's approval to do any of this.
We've been on this journey of integration with Western society. We are in it now. We're finding ways and solutions to sustain our people for the next 7 generations.
The goal is economic independence while trying to help alleviate a huge problem facing Vancouver, the housing crunch. Exciting news to housing advocates like Peter Waldkirch.
First Nations that are leading this project are showing a lot of leadership in what we should be doing across the whole city.
Sanok is just the beginning. The Squamish, along with 2 other First Nations, have formed a development corporation called MST. It bought 2 large pieces of public land in Vancouver and now has massive proposals in the priciest parts of the city.
We're talking about neighborhoods where homes sell for $5 million or more. I understand that people are sometimes reluctant to see change in their neighborhood. But at the same time, I want people to think about how severe the housing crisis is and what sort of city they want Vancouver to be.
But not everyone agrees.
That it will effectively obliterate much of the North Shore view. I mean, except for the people who can afford to live in the penthouse, I guess.
We've come to one of the most iconic viewpoints in the city to hear members of a group called the Jericho Coalition. Murray Hendren and Susan Fisher say it's the wrong plan for the future.
Density, seemingly at all costs, is what the city and the province seem to have.
The MSD enunciated some admirable principles, respect the land, stewardship of the tree canopy, look after the water, and yet the actual design for the site does none of those things.
They questioned the proposal already approved in principle by the city. It will add more than 24,000 new residents on this land. They say there's been little environmental oversight and massive infrastructure investments are lacking.
I think it's appropriate to consider them as just another development company. Doesn't mean that they don't have the right to do certain things on their land, just as any company would, but I think that they ought to be playing by the same rules as other corporations.
The coalition isn't opposed to a large development here. They hired architects to develop an alternative plan, lower rises, more family-friendly, they say, and about half as big. But according to them, the city and the First Nations weren't listening.
Asking for advice, knowing they're not really going to listen to you. And after a few years of it, you realize, oh, this is not right.
And as far as reconciliation goes, I mean, it does have to be a two-way street. I mean, I think people in the community have to feel that something legitimate and forward-thinking and maybe a little, somewhat environmentally sustainable is going to happen here.
But should First Nations have to consult Vancouverites about anything? Ginger Gosnell-Myers was the City of Vancouver's first Indigenous Relations Manager.
First Nations have never had a say in the developments of their own lands. They've never had a say in how these cities are constructed. And so it seems a little ironic for residents to feel like First Nations finally being able to do something is going against, I think, the moral good and the public good. I think the opposite. I think it's providing a significant opportunity to a group that has been so oppressed.
She says the projects will reshape the look of the city, add an Indigenous flair to architecture, and reshape how First Nations are seen.
We tend to view First Nations as being extremely impoverished and marginalized, and there's not a lot of hope. But we're finally seeing a moment where First Nations, through urban development, are seeing that narrative completely change.
A new narrative also shaping other parts of Metro Vancouver, with several other First Nations leading developments and looking to the progress at Sanok.
How does it feel for you now then to be able to look over your shoulder and see what's happening now?
I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm very honored to be living in this time where we're able to rebuild our village like it is going today, in a way where, my great-grandfather, he's not here to see it. I'm his eyes and ears now.
A duty to those who came before, also felt by Edward Belsham for his mother.
How much of a tribute is it to her, your working here?
Every day I wake up, I just want to do her proud.
And that is a sentiment felt by many working on the project. It is planned to have residents move in 2025, with the project complete in 2030.
Susanna, you mentioned there are other projects in the works outside of Vancouver?
Yeah, that's right. The Musqueam and Tsleil-Waututh Nations, also involved in the Vancouver projects, are also looking at other properties. They have one happening in Burnaby, as well as other properties they already own for the coming years. We also know that in the Fraser Valley, there are 3 nations there that have formed their own corporation, modeled after what they've seen in Vancouver, and are looking to propose a 3-tower project.
Thanks for this. Susanna De Silva in Vancouver. Coming up, with violence gripping the Middle East, some olive farmers are facing life and death decisions around their harvest. The attacks, they say, are putting their crops and their lives at risk. Next. In a crucial harvest season, many farmers in the occupied West Bank can't get to the olive trees.
They shoot and well, for the scare.
They shoot in the sky.
Yeah.
Intimidated by Israeli settlers, they're afraid to venture into the fields.
How does it make you feel to not be able to go into your traditional land?
I can do nothing. This feeling and my feeling, I don't know what I can do.
For many, the economic consequences are dire. Briar Stewart traveled to the West Bank to hear some of their stories.
It's been called the most dangerous olive harvest ever. A dramatic rise in Israeli settler violence has led to attacks across the occupied West Bank. UN officials have described what's taking place here as warlike tactics. This year, the harvest is so dangerous that some dare not to set foot in the olive groves that sprawl across the rugged hills and plains.
So your land's just up on top of the mountain?
Up at the top, yeah.
Over those hills are the olive trees that Kamel Nassan and his family have been picking for decades. Not anymore.
I'm scared.
What happened?
They come in, take him from us, they drop him on the floor, and let us go.
They took the olives and they
throw away. They shoot and well, for the scare
they shoot
him.
in the sky?
Yeah, for the scare him and go. There's no kill people for so far.
But just as we were doing this interview in the south, further north in Jenin, a 60-year-old woman was shot and killed by an Israeli soldier while olive picking. Her family says she was given a permit to harvest the trees near the Israeli barrier, but was shot and killed. Israel's military says it launched an investigation, and a senior officer was suspended. There have been more than 30 violent attacks against Palestinians this month, carried out as they tried to pick olives in the West Bank. The rise in settler violence means that those who try to harvest work carefully and are always on the lookout. We are broke, says Lutfia Abu Aliyah. We risked our lives coming here for this olive harvest. Olives account for about a quarter of the agricultural income in the occupied West Bank. The harvested crop is often pressed to make olive oil. Families rely on the money they can earn now more than ever during a time of growing economic hardship. But the olive tree is also an important cultural symbol. It represents a connection to the land passed down through generations. Now that connection is precarious.
We're about to interview these two farmers, and they don't want to go too much further down that road because earlier this month when they were out picking olives, Israeli settlers showed up and there was a confrontation.
This is the video from that day. Abdul Karim Nassan said he had permission to go harvest his trees from Israeli authorities as they lay behind a gate they put up. But he said dozens of settlers showed up, some with automatic weapons. I got in the car and the settlers suddenly shot, he said. He said the settlers then started breaking and uprooting trees.
And you won't go back?
I will only go back if they open the gate and Israel provides protection, he said. There are more than 500,000 Israeli settlers in the West Bank, living in communities deemed illegal by the UN and many countries, including Canada, under international law. Some of their homes dot this ridge above. Abdul Karim Nassan points out the outposts.
Surrounded.
Yes.
He says he was shot with a rubber bullet last month while harvesting, but says he won't be deterred. We have been tending to this land for years, so we can't leave it. This tree is my life, he said. He takes us to a plot of land not far away. Here, he says, settlers pushed a gate down and cut the trees. Across the West Bank, there have been cases of trees being set on fire. Entire groves have been set alight, leaving large swaths of burnt trees. UN officials estimate that last year, 10,000 olive trees were vandalized in the West Bank. Other trees are behind barriers, sealed off from farmers who want to tend to them, like Kamel Nassan.
But how does it make you feel to not be able to go into your traditional land?
I can do nothing. This feeling and my feeling, I don't know what I can do. There's some people, you know, he told you if you come in next time, I kill you. What you gonna do?
The Israeli military says the war in Gaza has raised tensions in the West Bank, adding that it's more difficult to manage security these days. Nassan decided it's not worth the risk to farm his trees this year. But others say they have no choice. They depend on this harvest and don't want to be forced to give up what is a traditional way of life.
There has been an increase in the level of violence in the West Bank since the October 7th attacks last year, and each year the number of Israeli settlers in the area continues to grow.
Briar, what else are farmers doing to try and stay safe?
Well, as you saw, some are choosing not to harvest the trees, and those that do are trying to do it as covertly as possible. In the grove that we were in, there was a car that was covered in olive branches. They were trying to make it harder to spot from the road. Another family thought it was safer to maybe skip the car altogether. They decided to walk in. And still another group decided that they shouldn't be using any kind of electrical tools because they didn't want to draw any extra attention to themselves.
Thanks for this, Briar Stewart in Jerusalem. Up next, a birthday bash set in an unusual location.
I was like, oh my God, like you guys, everybody's here.
The Costco surprise party in our moment. This group photo was taken after a woman surprised her husband with a birthday party at an unusual location, a Vancouver Island Costco. Friends and family showed up to buy in bulk and wish their loved one a happy birthday. Tonight, the unique celebration makes our moment.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
I got the idea off TikTok and I thought it'd be a great idea to surprise my husband Aaron for his birthday.
No way!
Aaron loves going to Costco. He goes probably about once a week. He often comes home with stuff like that we don't always need.
She had mentioned that we had to go to Costco because she had just forgotten a couple things that she meant to grab earlier in the day.
We run into the first people. Next we run into his parents and he's like, oh, like, wow, that's weird that both some of my friends and family are here.
We've never shopped at this time of night before.
I was like, oh my God, like you guys, everybody's here.
Do you really think this is a coincidence?
I really thought that he was gonna figure it out by like the fifth person, because I'd like to think that I would figure it out by then. I'm just really glad that I could surprise him and just make him feel loved, because he deserves that.
It was the best surprise ever. She really made this one special for me.
You just know his birthday dinner included jumbo hot dogs and French fries on the way out. Now, Costco says it had no idea they were planning this, and Aaron got so excited in the store that employees thought he might be intoxicated, but clearly they got on board. From all of us at The National, thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Christine Birak. Take care.